Thank you for joining. Today we're going to go over Bitcoin. It's had a nice little reaction off the lows since the dump. So we're going to go ahead and analyze Bitcoin and a few altcoins. It'll be a very quick stream today. Feeling a little under the weather, so just going to do this pretty quick and let you know the levels that I'm interested in and what I expect after this nice little reaction off the 2021 bull run point of control on the Binance chart. So let me go ahead and post this stream to x.com. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Just gonna give it a minute for everybody else to join. Okay. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin. We had a massive sell-off, right? Very nice sell-off. Let's go ahead and look at the daily levels here. So price did come down right to this 2021 bull run point of control. Had a nice reaction off of it and is now back testing the previous support as resistance, as you can see. This was a very nice range that did form once we got this initial impulse through this point of control. You can go ahead and draw the parallel channel there just so you can see how everything lines up. So price did move above this level, had some slight deviations, which is normal, and then moved back into the channel, and this is where it became very bearish. You know, ETF news came out around here, pushed the price up right into the golden pocket. We had a solid rejection, and now price is just moving lower and lower. Now, what do I think can happen? Well, anything can happen, but what may happen is this was actually, and still is, a range, right? So we fell out of this range, as you can see. And it's looking like it wants to go below the point of control. We had a nice reaction. If we do lose this level, I would simply just expect price to backtest the old point of control as resistance before testing this value area high, gaining acceptance into this level and reaching the point of control. Now this level is kind of important. I believe the most important level would actually be, as you can see, the value area low for this entire move, right? So I would actually expect a continuation to the downside, possibly tapping this major resistance level that's now flipped to support before moving back up, reclaiming the levels, and moving on there, right? So yeah, right now, it's kind of interesting just to look at Bitcoin a little bit more locally because we do have that resistance above. As you can see too as well, if you'd like to, if anyone did enter this trade, this was a nice swing failure pattern locally. Right, so price came up, took the highs of the range and then back tested it and is now moving a little bit higher. If you think price will continue to go up, it would make sense to then go ahead and pull your fibs from the low. Not sure what's going on here. There it is. So pull the fibs from the low to the high. As you can see, there was some price action in here right below the VWAP before it impulsed above. Flipped the VWAP into support and then moved higher. So if you want to be a little bit more aggressive, if you don't want to wait for it to touch the point of control one more time, you can actually wait for the move to come down, possibly touch this golden pocket area before getting a move up. Right? You could also draw some trend lines because right now it is trending higher and higher. This as well is its own parallel channel as well locally. So as you can see, pull your levels, pull your highs and lows, 50%, halfway mark is resistance, flipped its support, moved up higher. So this is just locally what we're dealing with Bitcoin right now. I actually wanted to zoom out and take a wider look at Bitcoin as a whole, right? So as we can see, price is just consolidating above this major resistance or support. With that being said, it's led a lot of alts to move in the bullish direction, right, which is up. Ethereum managed to close back in this ascending trend line right here, which is also very bullish. We will see what happens here if it continues to hold this level. If it does hold, then I would expect to see a move to this value area high right here, which was formed from this trend, right? This little trend. So I would expect Ethereum to really just, pretty much move here, claim the point of control, test the value area high, hopefully flip it and then move back to the major point of control from the previous bull market run, right? If we fail this level, then there's not really much stopping Ethereum to coming back down and testing some of the major support levels, which you can see will start right here at about 20,022, right? So that's the level to watch on Ethereum if we do lose this level, right? We can also place a horizontal at this level, label it the value area high, so we know exactly what level to watch if we do manage to lose this level. Alright, so another project I actually wanted to take a look at today was Manta. So this just launched. So much hype around this project. So much hype around this project. I believe I am following them, yep. There it is. Huge project, just launched, 667,000 followers. Actually kind of insane that this already happened, right? What is this project? Sometimes it's interesting to look at some of these projects, right? Interesting. Anyway, this project has just been causing a huge splash in the space, and I think it's interesting to go ahead and take a look at this very early price action, as you can see, and it is respecting it very well, right? So parallel channel has been formed on Manta. I thought it was going to go lower before it went higher, but clearly it wanted to go higher. It tested the range highs, closed back below it on the hourly, and what I would expect now is obviously just a little bit more selling pressure to the downside. Seeing the type of team that is behind this project, I would not be surprised if we do just continue higher along with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin manages to hold the level that it's on right now, and continue to move higher, because it had a massive sell-off, so I would not be surprised if Bitcoin does move a little bit higher here, at least back into this parallel channel range. If that was to happen, then I would expect Manta to continue its bullish price action, flip this resistance into support, test the all-time highs, right, at $3.30, and then go into price discovery. But obviously the higher probability trade at this moment would be for Manta for a short, right? A short is just the smartest thing to do here. One thing I don't like is that it did not swing failure this high. So there's going to be a ton of liquidity. Look, right here too. So there's going to be a ton of liquidity at these levels. I would have expected Manta, or would have been nice if Manta came up, grabbed some of the liquidity, came down, back tested it just like it's doing now, and then that would have been a beautiful short entry with your stop loss above the highs and just managing your position size. Okay. As for me, any trades that I am currently in it's kind of a random trade, but I just decided to go for it because it did look nice. I like the setup. It's KSM. As you can see, this was my long entry around these levels. Entered it a little bit more aggressively. It would have been nicer for it to come down and test the $35 mark, but I saw solid price action happening, and right now we are slightly in the green. I entered the trade because it did tap the daily level, also swing failured the lows, and on top of that, it is also trading above the 786. It reclaimed the 786 after losing that level. So 3 confluence levels there, which pretty much played out decent so far. All right. No trend there. Sometimes it is interesting to just see something like that, right? So you wouldn't necessarily pull it from here, but I have been in the space a little while, and when you see wicks like this, typically price likes to close above where the trend line would stop, which would be right there. And as you can see, this trend has been respected a whole lot. And if you really wanted to get a little bit more technical, you can go with some of these lows here, or even go with this low, because this is a trend, right? It's just always good to keep in mind that this is a trend, and in reality, this is a support and resistance zone, right? So if you really just had to think about it, this is a zone, support and resistance, and that just follows it all the way up, just like any other zone that is support and resistance. So this trend line to me is pretty valid. I wouldn't really do anything else with this level. If this does break, there's no point in adjusting it, because at that point then you wouldn't really be in the trend anymore, right? If you were to go ahead and try to adjust it, let's just say price fell and you're doing this, that doesn't make any sense, right? So some people might argue this is going to be the better trend because it's where price action did tap the level multiple times, tapped it there as well, and it tried to hold up there, so I would actually keep this one. But at the end of the day, this is also not a bad trend. As you can see, look what happened as well. Price closed right above that trend line. So it's still both are very valid levels. Just because we are currently trading below this level, and it did close on the 4 hour above this trend line, I'm going to keep this as a valid trend line. but I am already in the trade. I am targeting this new weekly level above, untapped, 13% away. And yeah, we'll see how this trade basically pans out. That is it for Kusama. Matic was very interesting too as well. A few confluence levels happening here. Swing failure pattern. I believe there's a golden pocket here too as well. Let me see here. Forgot where exactly, but if not the golden pocket, the 786. So swept the swing failure level down, tapped the 786, reacted on it, and then this might play out. This was a daily that it just seems to can't get over. This daily level has been tapped, as you can see, but it's still holding as resistance. So if price can manage to move above this daily level, that would be very good for Matic. Come down, back test this, put your alerts there, and then continue to move higher. All right, so let's see how that all plays out. A lot of projects right now are at very good areas to enter a long trade. It's almost like any project, right? Even look at, I could just scroll down here, stop randomly, click on SWE. Well, this one's actually been a little bit more bullish than anyone else, but as you can see, SWE is just on a whole nother level. Broke out, and now it's looking like it's going to try to retest these highs up here. Yeah, I would actually get rid of all of these levels and go ahead and redraw a few daily levels here. This one there, untapped. This also untapped daily as well. So something just to keep in mind. But like I was saying, you know, you scroll, you stop, zoom out a little bit, and you're going to see prices pretty much at a very nice area with almost any coin that you wanted to trade, right? Almost any coin. You just have to pull your fibs, pull your fixed range tools, check out the price action. Currently, Litecoin above the point of control after a sell-off. Came very close to the value area low. Basically tapped it, right? And now it moved above the point of control and closed above. So if the market gets bullish, now you're expecting a 10% increase in price, right? Let's see what else. Let's look at Solana. It's very similar in that regard. Look at that. Here was a parallel channel that formed, failed below it, and now this is resistance. Tapped the 786 golden pocket and swing failure these lows, and it's attempting to swing failure this low as well. Right, so we'll see how this one plays out, but obviously, what do you want to wait for? You want to wait for this to reclaim this level, break through the trend. Then this is a long trigger, obviously, and you could place your stop loss, right? I mean, I already have it drawn. So you can place your stop loss below this low here. 5% away, but you just manage your position size, and you would then aim for the top of the channel first, about 25% away. Okay. And then, yeah, let's see what else we have going on here. Not much else going on. I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, today was going to be a very quick stream. Aptos had crazy price action, like always. This is such a price action coin. That's what I like to call it, just a price action project. I say that because it reacts very well off key levels, and when it does react, it pumps very hard, right? So Aptos is a price action coin, which is what I like to call it. Blur is too as well. They just do crazy numbers. AVAX was, but it kind of cooled down a little bit. Another price action coin lately is GTO, has very strong moves. Look at that, reclaimed the monthly level. So this is very strong. So not only did it swing failure this low, it also reclaimed the monthly. It is now trading, is it trading above the VWAP? I think it is trading above the VWAP. No, it's still below, but it's pushing above. Higher high, right? This was a Ready? Lower high, lower low, higher low, higher high, one more time. So that is a confirmed market structure change on the lower time frame, and it starts to go into the higher time frames too as well, right? So I mean, it looks a lot more clear on the 30 and 45 minute, but in my opinion, that is a very beautiful long trigger. As you can see, this was clear support, right? Resistance, support, broke through it, resistance, kind of resistance. It's a zone, right? You can't forget that this is a zone. Resistance, blasted through it. Support, and look where it's at right now. Support. So where would I target next? I mean, there's only one area to target, the value area low above, which is around 21% away. So that is very, very, very impressive right there. So around 21% away. And then, like I said, let me go ahead and look at Solana once again. Looks pretty decent. Excuse me, had to check something really quick. But it is battling. Like I said, I wouldn't really feel too bullish on Solana until it reclaims this level, because it's clearly struggling right here. You do not want to buy at resistance when it's been rejected after the impulse into the level, right? So this is still a key level at the moment. Once it flips it into support, then I'll become a little bit more bullish. But as for now, I'll just keep an eye on it. Let's see what other projects we can take a look at. We also have Avalanche. Let's see what Avalanche is doing here. I'm pretty much doing this because I am considering buying in very soon. I do like that GTO setup, not going to lie. That setup is looking very nice. Avalanche is looking not good. I am not liking this Avalanche chart. It is below a lot of key levels, as you can see. It's below a lot of key levels here. Let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit here. This is resistance, so that is probably what it's pretty much reacting off of, but let's go ahead and check out the monthly levels here. Nothing really. It was a weekly level here. That's pretty much where it got a little bit of support from, right? It's already a tapped weekly, but at this moment it seems to be relevant. But I'm not really liking the Avalanche chart too much, but it's definitely relevant. Pretty much tapped it. It would need to flip this level back into support for me to become bullish on Avalanche, right? We need something like that to happen. So with Avalanche, where it's at right now, I am just not even interested. As you can see, this is almost like another range on its own. It's like a range that didn't get a chance to form, right? But as you can see, this would have been the lows, and then this would have been the high. maybe even lower. All right, where is see price is reacting off this level right here pretty well. But anyway, let me see something here. This is a low too, so yeah, I'm not really interested in Avalanche. I mean, I wouldn't take a long until it comes down to here. And then when it comes down to this level, I'll still want to see some sort of liquidity grab at the lows, a little swing failure pattern before getting more bullish, right? Something like so. Let me just do that again, right? So price to come down, sweep the liquidity, buyers to come in, push price above, reclaim these very important levels before moving a little bit higher, right? And if we could continue with this bullish momentum, push higher like I have here, reclaim this level, and once that level is reclaimed, that's where I would be looking for my long opportunities, right? Right there and right there. That's pretty much it. Let's see where Dogecoin is, the king of memes. Let's go ahead and see what Doge is doing right now. So this was a daily level. It was tapped, but seems to be holding some relevance. Seems to be the level where it would be nice for Doge to reclaim. As you can see, look at that. Price came up, tapped it, could not close above it, could not close above it, still cannot close above it. If we go to 4 hours, it's going to be the same thing. So that is still a very key level, even though it's been tapped multiple times. Let's go ahead and look at the monthly. Nothing really down there. Up here is a monthly level. Let's check the daily. Yeah, not much. I mean, you do have the fib below it, but not really liking it too much. Yeah, not really liking this chart that much, to be honest. For Doge, even this, what's going on here, you know, resistant breakthrough, came down, now it's resistance again. I'll be more interested if this liquidity gets swept, or I'll be interested in a long if it comes down pretty much to these levels. Like, that's where I'm really interested. Something like that. Or for it to break out, consolidate, then right there, right? Stay above this daily, and then we kind of have a little bit of a party right there. All right, so let's go ahead and check out another project. Going to do Link and Shiba next. Let's go ahead and check out Chainlink. All right. So on Chainlink, as we can see, price did come down and tap the VWAP, anchored VWAP. Let's go ahead and delete that for now. But that is a very key level. It's a nice level. Looks like it lines up with the 786. No, lines up with but this does though. The 786 lines up with the weekly, so that's a very interesting pull. But where it's at right now, the value area high, low, and Fibonacci level, very interesting. This is way more interesting to me. Yeah, I do like this a lot. Higher highs, higher lows, change in market structure. If we can get another higher low here, right? Sometimes you just have to, it's very small, right? You can just kind of just zoom in, but if you can get like a little price action like that, and I wonder if we can show, this is why I like to just draw the value area high and low. Go ahead, 10-minute maybe. Just short. Anyway, for demonstration purposes, I mean, let's just go ahead and do this really quick. Zoom out, pull this back in. All right, then we take this, put this baby right there. Value area low, boom. Now when we zoom in, doesn't matter, we don't have to do any of that. There's a value area low, right? So price is reacting off the value area low. I don't think this really taps the, no, it's below the 0.5, so yeah, this is a very interesting level. I mean, there's obviously a little parallel channel going on here, right? So you can then go ahead and do one of these. Pull the level there, price to react off there, nice. Just to see how price is reacting on a lower time frame. Can do something like that. Some people will draw it from top to top, like so, and then leave this down like so. As you can see, price reacted multiple times, reacted on that level, back on that level. Just gonna leave that for now. But for Link, it is actually at a pretty decent area. Still not too confident. I would rather see price, which is a very interesting level actually. Let's see what's going on here. It's very far away, right before the impulse. All right, and there it is. So right before the impulse, and the anchored VWAP is lining up quite well. So with that being said, I would be more interested if price comes back down and tests that anchored VWAP one more time. Not sure why that went off. Let's go ahead and just delete it. Probably going off of the 4 hour. But I want to go ahead and take a look at Shiba afterwards. Link, it's at an interesting area. I would really rather take a long down here, to be honest. Like that is where, this is where it would be really nice. And it does line up, I believe, is when I pulled it to here. It's pretty close, price tapped it. I'm not sure where else you can pull it from, I think. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, just one of the two. I'm gonna leave it back here for now. Or ever since this massive sell-off, just leave it down here. Just going to leave that down there for now. Let's go ahead and take a look at SHIB, but I'd rather be looking for a long at these levels down here for Link. So a lot of these projects not really seeing anything happening. I want to take a look at Pith really quick though. This project has been very interesting to watch lately. Let's go ahead and delete this. I'll leave this because as you can see, golden pocket point of control lining up pretty well. It's all lining up pretty well. Interesting area to take along. Don't really think there's a daily around that area, nope. Or weekly level, no. But this is support and resistance, right? Once again, clear support and resistance. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Resistance, resistance. Try to flip it as support. Went through, support, support, and now it's coming back down to this level, right? So if it comes back down to this level, this would be an interesting area to possibly think about taking a long position. I don't really like it too much, but let's just see what happens when we draw this ray. I might line up with that there. Still not really the best area, to be honest. Yeah, I don't really like that. Yeah. Anyway, where's Shiba? Shiba is at a very, 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 very interesting level, as you can see. So it broke out of this absolutely insanely massive downward trend line. Back tested it, got a nice run. I'm not sure why this got turned off, but it got a nice run, pulled back a little bit here, a lot of it, touched the level again, got a nice run, touching the level and Fibonacci, right? Golden pocket, and also the weeklies right below. So what I'm going to do here is set an alert right at this level. I think it's an interesting area to take along. I'm also going to go ahead and set an alert on the weekly. The weekly, this area is really where I'd like to get along. If we can get a tap of this trend line one more time with the weekly for Shiba, oh man, that would be a very beautiful long trigger. And we also have this little descending price action too as well. So until price breaks through this as well, I wouldn't, unless price, all right, so two things. Price can either break through this, continue higher, that would be my entry, or it can just come down, support, flip it. Once price breaks through this trend line, it's a little bit more bullish. What I would prefer is for price to come down, sweep these levels, reclaim the weekly, and then I would actually enter the trade right there, right? That would be my long entry, stop loss below the low, aiming for at least the trend line above, but with this being a falling wedge, I would then expect price to break out of this, do the same exact thing what it did here, right? I would expect price to break out, back test. Would be very interesting to get some sideways action, breakout, back test, the fib, and the descending trend line, and then aim for higher, right? Because then now when you're aiming for higher, you're now aiming for a 44% increase in price. So with that being said, that is exactly what I am looking for when it comes to Shiba. I think it's actually at a very interesting area to long currently, but it seems like there is a little bit more juice to squeeze in terms of getting a better entry. Maybe we'll get it, maybe not, but I believe we might get it. We just might get it. If so, like I said, either tapping the weekly or coming extremely close, right? Because this is also another level. So just like how price did a swing failure pattern, right? Came down, swept this level, reclaimed it, and moved higher. I would love for that to happen again. Come down, tap the weekly, and then move up. So this isn't really like an entry alert. This is more like price is at support once again. And as you can see, he had a nice impulse from this level. Watch it, see if price breaks down. If it does break down, watch for these levels, watch for the swing failure, because when price does come into this area, this is a zone, a weekly support zone, and it could just react right before tapping the weekly, but I would love for it to tap the weekly. That would be a long trigger for me, as long as we get the reclaim of the weekly and trend line, we stay above it for at least an hour, then that'll be an entry trigger. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Quick little live stream today. Thank you for joining. We'll see how everything plays out. Hit that like and subscribe. Don't forget to check me out on x.com. I do post a lot of stuff here. Manta, BTC, everything, you know. Bitcoin Cash, Axie Infinity. Yeah, a lot of stuff here. So thank you for joining. Have a great day. And like and subscribe. Also, you can go ahead and join my Telegram channel. Everything is on my Twitter, YouTube, TradingView, Telegram, TradingView. As you can see, we go ahead and we click it. Brings you right to my profile, the Navitility profile. I do have a lot of things here. I post pretty frequently. I think the last time I posted was the 19th, about 3-4 days ago. I'm a little bit overdue, so I'll get that done very shortly, more than likely tomorrow. But yeah, thank you for joining. Have a great day. And until next time, I'll try to do this again tomorrow around the same time or earlier. If you join me on Twitter, you'll see me post when I'm going live. All right. Thank you for joining once again. Bye.